The next activity that I'm going to present to you is learner strategy, instruction, acquiring self-help skills. This strategy is a good strategy to teach the English language learners at the beginning of the school year, because at the beginning they can see what good habits and responsible skills should be learned. This strategy is a good tool to help students develop good habits in reading, writing, discussion, and research. Learning strategy instruction helps students be responsible of their own work as well as interact with classmates during group work. Organizing an agenda for a class is one way a teacher can provide self-skill to students. In this way, they can have deadlines and assignments written, and they can keep track of what is missing. Here is an example of an agenda that I use. Here you have the hour, the days, you have the time of the classes. They also have weekly goals that they are going to write according to the teaching their teachers assigned to them. And we also have here the time of reading, homework, math, or any class that they need to study, an extra class. And in this way they are self-monitoring themselves, their learning, their self-approaches, because they have to be responsible of their own work. The teacher have to assess this activity also, because the teacher is going to monitor that the students are keeping in track of their work. And in this way the teacher is organizing their student for a future life. In a future life, when they go to the university and they have to do everything by their own and they have to be organized, this will be a good idea. This strategy could be adapted to many activities. For example, another way to check students' self-monitoring is to check their binders, is to check their work and give them credit for that. Because if the students feel that you are getting ahead, and they are looking that you are interested on their staff, they feel that they are connected. And also, if you give them a grade, give them points, they will feel motivated to do it. While the next strategy, I combine the strategies 39 and 46. And I combine it because these are some projects that are group projects, and interaction and social activity is going to take place. And the strategy 39 is integrating curriculum projects using authentic projects to integrate content knowledge. Well, this strategy is a good strategy to help students to connect what they learn in school with real life. And this strategy emphasizes in group work and peer work, as well as activating learning in real life. Integrating curriculum project is an approach to planning curriculum in which knowledge and skills in several curriculum areas are combined to accomplish an authentic task. And this cooperative group will work to divide labor in which each student will have a task. And in this strategy, you have to select very well your students to see that they are with a good English speaker, with a weak English speaker, so they can teach each other and monitor their work. You as a teacher will monitor and observe the process and complete a group evaluation in this way you can also evaluate your students in their work. And this strategy is ideal when working with English language learners, because they are connecting curriculum with real life. That is a very good point. They are also working with other English learners that might be more advanced in their English, and they can practice their communication skills. The strategy 46 is collaborative reading, and what to do when they can read the textbook And this is a good point when English language learners begin to read. Some of them start at a different level, and you can take in consideration their levels. You have to select good books that are adapted to their reading levels. And the group research is related to this strategy because in the strategy you are using something real. They are researching something that exists. And for these two strategies, I chose a topic, and the topic was advocating healthy meals for lunch. And I will use this activity in my classroom so that it's English language learners go and look and search and research in different medias. Like, for example, they can search in the internet. I can provide them with books in their reading levels. I can ask them to go and do a survey so they can advocate healthy meal for lunch and see how their classmates, their schoolmates think about it. And in this way they are connecting their ideas and they are communicating with each other. And these strategies are good to improving their group work. And the next activities are 41, 43, and 45. And these activities are based on reading. The first activity for this part is dictogloss, improving listening and communication skills. Dictogloss is a strategy that focuses on fluent academic language and support learners in listening and recalling good English language models. And it is very important that English language learners learn the language properly. And tutorials, closing the achievement gap, is another strategy that helps the students to connect what they know, to do independent practice, and to actually assess their learning. When you see the word tutorial, you always refer to an extra amount of help that the teacher had to do because the students are getting behind. And it is very important because always when an English learner has a misconception, has a problem with understanding the concepts, you have to take a little bit more time to teach it. And in this way they are always have a daily schedule, and the first thing that they do is to do a warm-up, and then the teacher models what the activity is going to be, and then the student had a chance to do it independently, like independent practice. And later the teacher has to do an assessment for them. And then in the next activity 45, is called micro-selection, and this is finding keywords and main ideas. And related with the strategy 41, it is actually based on finding the idea on a text. And let me tell you that both strategies 41 and 45 talk about finding main ideas and reconstruction a huge amount of passage through your own words. And it is very, very helpful when helping the students to retell a story. And micro-selection is the 45. It's a prerequisite for students understanding how to find the main idea in longer reading passage. And let me tell you that I picked for this an historical literature, and I will use the book From Farewell to Manzanar. It's a book from a Japanese American writer who wrote about her experience in the in the Japanese Pearl Harbor attack. And what I'm going to use this activity for is to select some chapters, and because the chapters are very long passage, the students, first of all, I will help the students by reading the story several times. Later I will use the group work, and they can work in pairs, and they can retell the story and came up with sentences and summarize the passage. And an additional instruction is provided if the students need it. For example, I will go and walk around and do as much as I can to support